Hi YouTube. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. Um, it was quite the busy day. This morning I went out to see what Doug was doing and I go, "What are you up to?" I thought he's checking emails. He was over on Robin's page raising hell and having his kind of fun. Mm. There was some little dork, that black whatever, um, said to me in one of my videos, or he would go in other videos, but maybe you guys didn't see it. But he said, "Oh yeah, yeah, no, I don't think he did. I think it was on a different one, like way back." This person says, "If God made me like you, I would shoot God," and he spelt it with a little G. Well, Doug saw that. I didn't say nothing to him because they don't know. I mean, if you're going to be like pissing Satan off right to his face, you better have God in your heart. And this person obviously didn't. And then he was over on it was over on Robin's channel, and Doug told him something was going to happen to him, and like break your leg or break your back or something, something. And you just watch, something will. This person will not be around. So mark my words. I've seen it, you know. So that's what he does. Especially if you don't believe in God. You better if you're talking to him. That's a fact. You can see he's totally my opposite. He has picking up some of my words and mannerisms and ways of speaking, kind of developed that, and vice versa in a sense. But the difference between dark and light is pretty apparent. Like I told Doug this morning, between you and Andrea, Robin won't even have to worry about any of his trolls. You people could spit them up, and I was doing that too, but I saw Andrea was doing such a great job. It's like, wow, don't need me here. This young lady's got this handled. Oh my God. Wicked. Yeah. Well, that what a horrible troll. Stupid troll, you know. But I was trying, well, no matter, even if I tell somebody to be nice, or no matter what Doug will say, blah blah, this and that, I'm like, well, Robin still has God in his heart, and um, so that's where I wish people would take it easy on him with that date setting stuff. Big deal. So what? So what? Chicken butt, you know? What does it matter? Let him set all the dates he wants. He already said he's going to set them wrong, and that's intentional anyway. So maybe the big joke is that there's not going to be a false attack on people, and it will just be an attack. So I'm just thinking we all better just keep God in our heart. That's probably just a good thing to do. And to the young man that said, "Am I afraid about the things going on in the world, or I must be scared now?" No. The last time I was scared, I got punched in the stomach when I was pregnant, and my baby didn't move for 3 days, and I was almost 9 months pregnant, and we both could have died. So, and I've been beat up severely, and that was a bit scary. But when I started fighting back, because I thought, damn, I'm a martial artist, so, you know, I should just fight back, well, at least enough to defend myself. So when I started doing that, I wasn't afraid anymore. And when the head of all the bad shit tracked me down, it's all followed me around and whatever, wrecked my whole damn life, whatever. I just decided to stand strong and not run anymore. Because I ran all over the United States trying to get away from these people. You have no idea. I hid in woods. I was on top of mountains more than once. Many, many times. Don't cry, lady. Come and lay down. She's been whiny. Her tummy hurts. So, Yeah, maybe it's going to snow out because she ate a remaining piece of grass out there that was frozen, and dogs will do that when their stomachs hurt. If it's going to storm out, they'll do that right before storms a lot too, because of the pressure on them from the humidity. So, yeah, anyway, from my observations. So. And I think I read it somewhere too, but not because of the rain. Well, yeah, because of the rain, but not just for the. Oh, maybe that's what it was. I don't know. What the heck? But anyway, oh yeah, Richard, it would be so fun to hang and just sing songs. I almost did Sound of Silence, but I thought, I heard you do that a couple times, and but you know what? When they sing that one part, when Disturbed sings that one part, it goes um something in it used to be, I thought, Tannen Halls or Tenon Halls. I'll have to look it up on the Simon and Garfunkel one. I don't think it's I don't know. I guess I'll have to look it up. I thought it was different, but it might have been just because when I was a kid, but I don't know. I thought I had the music from my guitar, so I don't know. I'll have to check. Maybe it's one of them that I don't believe in called "They're Messing with Us," the Mandela effect. So, and that's many people, multitudes of people playing games. That's what that amounts to. So, when people say this or that, or like logos and stuff, logos change. But there's things that people thought had changed and it really hadn't. So I don't know. That's just that's and if it has, of course, somebody changed it. If we seen something with our eyes, like if we walked out and we saw a tree was green and the next day it was pink and purple, we would know it changed and we would know somebody changed it. You know, unless God changed our eyes. Well, that's a possibility too. Dang, see, I'm just striking out tonight. oh, oh, man. But yeah, last night was fun. Like I wrote 007, I have plastic in my throat. Um, I had my tonsils taken out, and it was the first plastic surgery for tonsillectomy when I was 12. So and I'm allergic to plastic. So, like I say, I got a lot of allergies and weird things going on, and that's the way it is. so, yeah, um, I'm lucky to be able to sing and, everything. And yeah, I've been choked. And one time I choked myself. I was on my knees on a snowmobile, and I went through our yard and I hit a metal clothesline. I was on my knees and I just about decapitated myself. I went flying off. The machine went through our lilac bushes, and well, not through it. It did stop it, and yeah, that freaking hurt. I was 15. I did a lot of weird things on that snowmobile when I was 15, and it was a 440 Colt Polaris. It was really fast. I used to race with it, so um, I won. One time we got to this race on a lake late, and I was 12, and I had a older Skidoo, which was really slow. But my dad said get on the inside track and just hold on to it, and I did. And we had to make 12 rounds on this track, and I did, just wide open. And all these older ladies were looking at me with all this hatred. And it's like, well, whatever. Learn how to drive your machine. So, that's what I was thinking. But yeah, but we got there late, so I got to enter the race, but I didn't have a right to any of the money, which was like 150 or 120 bucks. And back in them days, that was pretty cool. But and some people wanted to give it to me, And they even wanted to at least give me a trophy for at least like second place, but they wouldn't do that either. But I was a little bummed, but I was just happy. I just skunked them, you know. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, I am, as you can tell, probably can tell, very competitive. I can't help it. It's just me, and it's a good thing too. So yeah, going back to that like Lionel Nation would say, new plate back to the old plate. Yeah, that's the way I think too. I'm like all over the place with everything all at once, kind of. You know what I mean? Busy in your brain. So well, anyway, I was scared when I've gotten beat up, but I was scared when I was tiny, put into the house, the cabal. You know, it was very scary when you're tiny and you can't defend yourself at all. So, no, I'm not afraid of anything anymore. No way. That God's always been with me. That's one reason, and I'm just so freaking strong. That's another reason. So, and quick, you know. So like faster than my cats still. So that's what you gotta be, especially like taekwondo and being like a tiger. Um, whatever animal you're emulating. And it's a good idea if you are a warrior to think of every animal on the planet. If it was attacking you, how would you take that out? Well, when you're dealing with Satan, you have to kind of think like that in your mind, you know. Well, um, and it's a good thing people are talking to him. That's exactly what God expects, to take some of that ferocity out of the situation, no matter what the obnoxious situation. And that's what I've been trying to get to, like a Christian man talking with him. You do have to be careful because, of course, it's going to lead you wrong if he can. He'll tell you exactly opposite to do what I will tell you to do. I'll tell you, oh, be careful, don't touch that, and then it'll fall over or something. He'd be like, yeah, go lean over there. No, well, not quite like that, but if you get my drift. And I'd be saying, he'll watch this. Um, he can hear me. I can hear him. I hear people. He does. A lot of people do, and most people do. A lot of generations had been taught that it was evil to think into other people's minds or whatever. To a certain point, it darn sure is. And a person should never go personal in their mind with another person. So that's a big grievance in God's eyes. Don't ever think below the belt with another human being unless you're wed to that person. So, and even if you are, that's a rarity too. No, well, I mean, I'm not saying in every extreme, oh, I looked at his butt, so I'm evil. No, like your own husband or whatever. But like, if you're out in public, like I tried to raise my sons like this, but I didn't do too damn good. But I tried to tell them it's like mental rape. You just don't stare at somebody and undress them with your eyes, because that's violating that person. And they can literally hear that. Babies hear that. That's how Masons will literally condition children to child abuse and pedophilia. So, by making those thoughts a natural thing, like the look but don't touch, it's okay to look. No, it isn't. I mean, if you're looking at the person as a whole, like the person that said they wouldn't want to be made like me, well, I think it's jealous. It's probably very short and is not very confident, because with my 36-inch legs and my cute face at my age, I think God did a wonderful job. So I'm very pleased. Thanks, God. So, little ugly, whatever you are, if you want to go back and apologize to people, you don't have to say nothing to me, but people that you've really been evil to, you might even want to go back and say you're sorry to Doug because you're going to get hurt. That's a guarantee. Watch. What was the last one? Let me see. This is karma in action, people. Literally. Somebody will mess Doug over on a car or something, and their house will burn down. Their wife will leave them. I am not kidding. Or they'll fall and break their back, or um, I mean, I believe everybody's capable of energy direction in a certain extreme, but not like this. So, and looking in his eyes is like, the story of like Medusa, you know? So, you have to have God in your heart when you're dealing with the devil. Well, you don't deal with the devil when you are representing God in his presence. So, I'm just asking you to be careful. Take my advice or not. So, yeah. I'm not saying entirely don't talk to him. I get a dang kick out of it, but I don't want to see nobody torturing Robin. I do love Robin. He's a good young man, and I'm not going to sit by and let people hurt people that are decent. And even ones that aren't decent, I'm not going to let it happen. It just doesn't matter, you know. So whoever is being crappy, I just have always, I guess, in a sense like that, I'm God's cop. I heard somebody had that name on Lyle Nations, and I thought, dang, that's a good name. I like that. So, my grandfather was a cop. He was a French Canadian, Native American, and Danish. And when he was in the army, he became a special forces or, like police officer and came back to Minnesota and became a cop. So he was like a guitar playing cop. Tall and dark and strong and probably a little wacky like me. So I didn't meet him, but he died on in the hospital with a quadruple bypass. He didn't want to do it. He was like 59 years old, I believe, younger than me. So, and I had heart problems about. Well, I had my stroke. It must have been about 9 years ago because my allergies were so severe. Um, my immune system was compromised, and I had heart problems, and then I had a stroke. So. But and I couldn't even smile. I couldn't really speak that well. So I'm doing good, and God does help. He keeps people strong. He really does. So, yeah, I'm fortunate. Oh, let's see. Anything else going on? Oh, people are talking about directed energy weapons, and yes, I think they're directed by God. I think all this is God. I think the cabal's taking credit for the powers that be are not the powers that appear to be. God does everything. So that's just my opinion. They can blow up little booms and bangs here and put a bunch of um, pressure in a bomb and blow that up and all that stuff. But as far as lasers and all this, I mean, we've seen laser lights, and there is a plasma laser cutting torches. But those are within a certain range, and to be able to have a machine big enough, like a plasma cutter, on a ship, well, I imagine it's possible, but I don't think it belongs to the world. I think God's the one with these things. And Satan just knew of them, and it was in his mind to be able to pass that dirty information about any kind of technology we do have directly does come from God. So imagine what he has in comparison to what he let a dipshit know. So if I think of things like that, which I always do, it's like I know I didn't make myself, and Satan certainly didn't make me. He didn't make himself either, and I keep reminding him of that. You know, he didn't make a drop of water. You cannot make even a drop of water. And people say, well, there's experiments kids do in school all the time and make water, and they do reverse osmosis, and yeah, but you have to have a container with a lid, and you have to have the moisture in the air to begin with. The moisture God made in our air, and Satan did not make that. So I always remind people that think they're into alchemy. If you truly are an alchemist and you think you know all the chemicals and all the elements and all the forces and everything else, if you really think that you're an alchemist, I would personally, I had to study that, but personally, I would just pretty much leave the witchcraft to the witches that are going to suffer for their bad deeds and stay out of the dark arts. So that's just my advice. So, I mean, I grew up knowing these things. It's second nature, it's natural. But I don't practice it. But if I did, there'd be a lot of bad people and a whole bunch of bad trouble. And when God lets me do things, when he opens my mind in the crazy manner that I know he's going to with the rest of Christ's kids, we're going to slay their little brains. I mean, they're just going to fry. We fry them just by talking to them, We fry them up. They can't keep up. It's like, well, and it's so hard to talk to people when they're sitting there lagging, and the reason they are is because they're so busy with everybody else's brain and what's going on. It's like, got people that walk into a crowd like me. I walk into a crowd and I see everybody, and it's like, hey, how you doing? And then you got these people that walk into a crowd and they want to just like crawl right into each other, and it's like, if you know what I'm saying, it's like, well, their brains are always crawling into each other. They literally cannot think for themselves, and they don't get clear messages from their Lord in that respect. And no, I was not going to say Lord, and like I told Doug the other day, no, not Lord, not your Lord and Savior. That was changed. There is no more Lord. That was Satan. That was Lucifer. No, Lord isn't appropriate. It's Jesus Christ, God, or Christ Almighty. But, I mean, I slip, but, and there's a few prayers that I like the Lord's Prayer, but it really is a Luciferian prayer. It's a Zionist prayer. But when I'm talking to God, he knows who I'm talking to. And my mind can't even be entered by Satan. So that's why I battle him. So that's what it takes. If your mind can literally not, I mean, okay, I do swear. And I was going to tell you all, I mean, as long as we don't make it a habit. I don't like to walk around and be all foul mouthed and everything, but sometimes I get so freaked out by these mindless people that don't consider other people, and that does freak me out. So it always will. I don't understand it. I just don't, you know. I don't know. I just can't. I don't. I just don't know why. It's like parents that think of themselves before they think of their kids, or, I mean, just the most unnatural, weird shit in the world. I can't get it. Or parents that are jealous of their children and shit that I've seen. It's like, my kid's his dad. And I've seen, well, and I went through the mom and daughter thing. But I mean, that can be worked out, and there's usually love. That's a whole nother story. Adoption and natural parents is a whole nother thing. But still, even with that, I've seen parents treating their kids like dirty, flipping crap, and I just can't deal with it. That's something God has to help me. And when I do go in public, I try to shield myself because I do flip out when I see that stuff, and I won't shut up. I'll say something. Well, I won't in front of the child. Very rarely I have, but I watch what I say. But one time I literally did talk over the kid's head. Said if you weren't with your kid, the kid didn't hear. I'd beat your ass. So, yeah. And that's so true. It's so true. If I had seen that same person later that day, because he pulled on his little boy's arm, and I've had that happen. My arm's ganked all the time. And it's like, son of a bitch. I didn't have a cell phone. So otherwise, I would have called. I should have. I should have called child protection right then and there. But you know why I didn't? Because I live in the most cabalist town in the world. So that's why. It wouldn't have got me anywhere because I was dealing with the inbreediest inbreds aside from England. So, and then once before again, well, from, well, yeah, prehistoric, how you like that one? Since we don't really have a history, they messed with the whole thing. So, yes, they've been messing with genetics for centuries. But, and that is what Hitler's thing was all about, to breed the lightest skin, the bluest eyes, to hide the Satanistic bloodline. So, and that's why they wanted to kill most of the Jews, too, to get rid of the ones that were lower besides themselves, to carry on just that bloodline in the lightest capacity. So all the dark ones were being eliminated. So, and it goes on to this day, all over the place, especially with people of color. So, and that's a big concern, and it really is. Even before I knew I had siblings that were um, biracial, triracial. Well, yeah, at least we have a lot of different bloods in us, but they're mostly biracial, as in appearance. Um, my little brother and sister, but even before I knew they existed, I was a warrior in that respect. I just couldn't deal with people's prejudices, and things like that in life. So, unjust behavior out of other people is what I battle against. So, anyway, I'm going to let you go, but do mark my words on that person that's acting like trash. It's going to be hurt or worse. Maybe it's just one of them things that doesn't matter type thing. the dark force energy that's going to be carried out of here, because it's taken all this long just to get it all gathered up into packages so God can take his stuff and get rid of the trash. And that's exactly what's going on. So it's in all of us to be good, and if we're meant to be there, we'll be there. But you gotta keep going every day. It's a every day, every second thing. Well, I hope I'm not telling somebody something they don't know. I'm surely probably just agreeing with your opinions, and that's why you're here. So thank you, everybody. I'm getting a little tired. You can probably tell. Gotta upload this and make a little something to eat. So peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Y'all have a good night or day or later, everybody.